Out here live in San Antonio, Texas. Looking at San Antonio, they took the win in their last game against the Suns in Phoenix. And just one look at the score tells you all you need to know. They were dominant in just about every area.
And one way to nullify a home court advantage like they did that night, Kevin, light it up from the three-point line. Nothing is more demoralizing to a home crowd.
Steve, you're exactly right. I mean, that was the great equalizer. Their perimeter play definitely took them over the top.
A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. Millsap at power forward with Horford at center. Teague and Korver in the backcourt, and it's Carroll in at the 3 spot. The Hawks shooting their first free throw of the evening. And so he hits the technical free throw. The 3 from Korver. Kawhi Leonard with the rebound.
A lot of big things happened for Kyle Korver last year, but the one that sticks out in my mind is that he was able to tie and then break the record of 90 consecutive games with a made three-pointer. Says a lot about him as a player, his work ethic, and his consistency.
Here's Teague after the basket by San Antonio. Horford attacking. Good.
That's how to orchestrate for your teammate. Terrific pass.
On defense, the Hawks, defeated by the Pacers in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
And what stands out from that game, Clark, is that they let a lot of points slip through their fingers at the free throw line.
Yep, and I think some doubt started to creep in as well when they kept missing their foul shot. Guys seem to tighten up and start alligator arming those things.
He's getting his hands dirty right away by doing some battling on the boards.
And that one's good. Parker.
4 straight makes out of the gate. That's a sweet start.
Dishes it to Millsap. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
You know, he doesn't fit into that kind of classic power forward mold, but he has that tremendous athleticism.
Parker kicks to Green. Here's Leonard. And again, it's San Antonio with a 3.
Pretty impressive. 5 straight makes to start this game.
It's stolen by Duncan. Here's Green, and he banks in the layup. Green's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
And their field goal percentage continues to climb. They've really shot the ball well here today so far.
Yeah, and it's all about quality shot selection, smart shot selection. They've been very patient on offense.
I like that they're taking it inside and taking advantage of each opportunity, Clark, to chip away at the deficit.
Yeah, and doing it with the dunk is a major energizer, too. Gets the momentum going.
Yeah, and I think the interior defense, as good a job offensively as we saw, the defensive presence was almost non-existent. They may see this league disappear if they continue to give up those easy points.
The Hawks trail by 11.
Hawks coach Mike Budenholzer grew up around the game. His father coached high school and college basketball for 25 years, and Mike got into coaching pretty much immediately after graduating from college. Sounded like a guy who knew what he wanted to do.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Boris Diaz checked in for Splitter. Bellinelli comes in for Duncan. Ano Ginobili's checked in for Daniel Green. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker.
Now, when he gets an opening like that, he'll definitely take it.
Spurs leading by 9. And Coach Budenholzer, 2-sport athlete at Pomona, golf and basketball, also graduated with a triple major in Steve, politics, philosophy, and economics. It sounds just like you at Arizona.
Similar, only different. But you know, shortly after college, Budenholzer actually took over as the video coordinator for the Spurs, and that's where his career took off. He ended up spending 19 seasons alongside Greg Popovich, winning 4 titles, and now here he is coaching the Atlanta Hawks. And the story of this game in the early stages is just how well they've been shooting the ball.
Steve, their percentage from the floor is really impressive up to this point.
6-second difference between shot and game clock. Here's Diaw. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Diaw's got his first bucket in this one. Here's Mack. He kicks to Scott. Passes it to Bazemore. Mack dishes to Bazemore from past the arc. It's rebounded by Boris Diaw. Leonard with the ball. Stolen. And a double-digit lead.
Coming up Tuesday, November 11th, Nikola Vucevic and the Orlando Magic take on Kyle Lowry and the Toronto Raptors. Live from Toronto, be there.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for San Antonio.
Well, they've definitely had the hot hand from the three-point line so far. Always nice to start out like that.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
The Hawks trail by 14.
Well, if any team had the opportunity or the excuse to pack it in and call it a year, it was the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, they lost their star player for the season, but still found a way to fight through and make it into the playoffs in a very tough division.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. On the court for San Antonio, Mills and Manu at the guards. Bellinelli is out there with Boris Diaw, and it's Splitter in at the 5. And realistically, guys, the Hawks never were going to do anything in the East as the Pacers and Heat were the class of the conference. But, Steve, they established a winning environment in a year when they really could just, just glide it on by.
Yeah, and they gave Indiana all they could handle in that first round, too, Kevin. I think it's important to establish the style of play, which Mike Budenholzer did, and now you build off that, and you continue to grow as an organization.
A different look now for San Antonio. Tim Duncan, he's checked in for Splitter. Green comes in for Marco Bellinelli. And Parker subbed in for Patty Mills.
What a pass by the fearless Manu Ginobili. Great teamwork.
The Hawks trail by 12. Teague, the pass to Millsap. Can't cash in from close range.
That's an easy shot there. That's a shot that he should make more often than not.
Well, now they're just going to town on it.
Yeah, you'd think these defenders would have done a little more to put a stop to that stuff, Kevin, but so far, no go.
Well, a phenomenal aerial assault there, fellas.
Here is Korver. 29 points for him last game against Indiana. Millsap kicks to Korver. Back to Millsap. And he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
cutting into the lead with a huge one-hand throwdown.
That's how to get your team back into it.
Yes, sir. That may put a little life back into this team.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
It's just beautiful basketball to watch, Clark.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Yes, guys, Mike Budenholzer had some words for his team. Teamwork was the theme of the discussion in that huddle. He said, quote, "Good shots are there for us on the perimeter if we share the ball, work it around, and find the open man." The other thing he stressed was the need to be disciplined on offense. He asked for good ball movement and good shot selection. Being in the position they're in, probably a smart move to go to the clipboard and switch things up while we're still in the first half. Kevin.
Thanks a lot, Doris. None of the defenders wanted anything Clark to do with him on that jam.
And I do not blame him at all, partner. He was coming in with a bunch of steam and was ready to posterize whoever decided to get in his way.
All right, I understand, fellas, but come on. You got to challenge him a little bit at least.
And now running it up the court. Green pushing it all the way.
Wow, they are just red hot, guys, not missing a thing.
Sometimes you see a player get on a tear like this, Steve, but never an entire team.
And it's slammed in by Millsap.
Fellas, that two-hand monster slam was vicious.
I don't think there was anyone, and I mean anyone, that could have stopped him on that one.
I'm glad they didn't try. You don't want anybody getting hurt out here.
Now he started to pick up from what he accomplished in the first quarter, where he made 3 of his three-point attempts.
Outside Teague, tries again, and that's 2 points on the layup.
Well, I like how Paul Millsap used his body to get into the defender there.
The drive by Green, that drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Parker's got 5 assists in the game. Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. And again, it's Paul Millsap. Millsap's got 6 in the quarter.
Guys, he shot a very good percentage today, and they've needed it.
This should be the last possession of the quarter if they play it right.
And if their clock management's good, it will be.
And finished off by Horford.
Yeah, nice fast break from start to finish, guys.
Especially on the back end. I mean, he polished it off perfect.
Ginobili attacking. What a play! He simply drains it in and through the first hit. And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. It's been a clinic from Tony Parker.
He is a dynamic scorer, guys. That much we know. And I'll tell you what, his talent was on full display there in the first half.
Steve, he is a hard man to keep down, and so far, they've been unable to do it.
The Hawks trail by 17, and so in the game for the Hawks. Millsap at power forward with Horford at center. On the wings, Corver and Carroll, and it's Teague in at the 1 spot.
You can't say enough about his individual performance. I don't think you can overstate it. I mean, even if the all-around team effort's been lacking, this guy's been on top of things.
Last season, Coach Popovich of the San Antonio Spurs winning his 5th NBA championship, one of only 5 NBA coaches in the league's history to win that many rings. He's one of the all-time greats.
And that one's good. Millsap. Spurs leading by 15. That's a 2 from Parker. Another one falls for San Antonio.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Millsap sets the pick for Teague. To the wing on the left, outside Carroll, and that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got assist number 7 for him tonight. let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Brady. Doris, what do you have?
Guys, it is hard to question that Patty Mills was instrumental in the Spurs title run. Getting in the best shape of his life was the key to his breakout season. As Coach Popovich said, he was a little fatty. He had too much junk in the trunk. He came back svelte and cut and understood you have to make better decisions. Point guard type decisions. Kevin?
Pop never one to hide his feelings, Doris. Thank you. Bellinelli with the three. And again, it's the Spurs from deep.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
Marco Bellinelli with a career season playing for the Spurs in 2013-14. His best ever three-point percentage. In fact, he led the league in that category for the first half of the season. You know, his shot's been pretty accurate today, but he has not had his usual share of opportunities.
Into Al Horford. And the layup's good off the glass. Horford's got 10 points in the game.
He's done a ton to help his team, guys, and he may have to do more if they're going to come back and win.
And for Bellinelli, you couldn't have asked for a better situation than the Spurs offensively.
Yeah, and they put their shooters in a great position to succeed, Kevin. A really good passing offense with a clear system, clear-cut system. Marco wasn't asked to create his shot as much, and that benefits him and his team.
Millsap sets the pick for T. And there's the feed to Millsap. Shot is off. Now San Antonio takes it the other way. And this matchup with the Hawks, it's their first meeting of the season.
This was a good matchup for them last season. They came out on top in each of the two games they played against them.
That's a very good high percentage look right there.
Here's Millsap. Boris Diaw picking up that last basket. Cephalosha. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
A long windup and a strong follow-through on that one-hand jam.
He's not going to mess that one up for sure.
No, that's too easy for him.
As he was talking about last year, as strong as they are, a lot of matchups, Clark, are friendly for him, I think.
Yeah, those two games really illustrated the difference between a good team and a great team. For the good team to win, everything has to go right for them, which didn't happen.
The shot and game clock separated by 4.
They're fortunate that one was just deflected and not stolen. Dodged a bullet there.
So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Jeff Ayers is checked in for Splitter. Matt Bonner comes in for Boris Diaw. Ano Ginobili's checked in for Marco Bellinelli. And Tony Parker subbed in for Patty Mills. Then for the Hawks, Payne, he's checked in for Horford. Scott comes in for Paul Millsap. And Max subbed in for Jeff T. Scott can't get it to go. Here's Leonard. And it's good. Hold on. The officials may want to look at that one on the replay monitor. And not so fast. The officials are going to check that shot again and make sure they got it right before we go to the fourth.
And a good job by the officials getting together and going to the replay. I mean, remember how frustrating it was before the rule was implemented to see a replay of an easily correctable call?
Yeah, I think the straw that finally broke the camel's back, Clark, was in the 2002 Western Conference Finals. Remember the Lakers beat the Kings by 1 point in that critical Game 4, and that came after LA was awarded a three-pointer at halftime that was clearly after the buzzer.
And at the end of the third quarter,
The new season in the NBA rolls on. Al Jefferson and the Charlotte Hornets take on LaMarcus Aldridge and the Portland Trail Blazers. It's the NBA next Tuesday night.
Spurs leading by 22 in the backcourt. Parker and Ginobili. Duncan is out there with Austin Day. And it's Green in at the 3. That's the San Antonio 5. Down low. And Mack kicks to Payne. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. He feeds it to Mack to the inside. Off target at the rim. Balanced scoring, Clark and Steve, for him. They're moving it well.
Yeah, you love to see teams share the sugar. Everybody getting a touch, everybody enjoying an opportunity to score. That makes it a lot of fun for everybody on the court.
You know, it sounds better when you say it than watching it. Okay? I like better when you say it. Sharing the sugar. Right, Steve?
Pass the cream, too. I mean, while you're at it. I mean, this has been something to watch. I mean, just everybody getting involved.
So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Jeff Ayers is checked in for Duncan. Matt Bonner comes in for Daniel Green. Bellinelli, he's checked in for Manu Ginobili. And it's Joseph in for Parker.
Nice pass. That one was right on target.
Here's Carroll, and he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
Well, and the bounce pass was the key to the play.
It's deflected and stolen by Payne. Korver, good.
It's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint. I guess the good news is they've taken away the outside shot.
Well, you know what? It doesn't matter how good their perimeter defense is if they're going to allow inside looks as easy as that. Boy, I tell you what, nice little run here they're going on.
Now the story is points in the paint, Clark. I mean, they're getting point-blank shots every time down.
Here's
How about that basketball, fans?
Beautiful.
Wow.
They're looking significantly better now, but still a long way to go to get all the way back into this.
Well, at least the effort's there now. It had been sorely lacking early.
And with that basket, you'd have to think this lead is safe.
Well, if not 100% safe, certainly 95%.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. Atlanta also making some changes here. Al Horford is checked in for Payne. Millsap comes in for Mike Scott. And it's Teague in for Matt. And Carroll gets it to go.
No misses for him yet in this quarter. Solid as a rock.
That's a 2 from Parker. And another basket for San Antonio.
I mean, Tony Parker's just showing us how it's done with that beautiful shot of his.
Here's Teague. And the layup falls.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
Yeah, not a lot you can do defensively when they continue to get the ball inside and get these easy shots. Well, that puts the nail in the coffin.
A clinic in terms of how to play with the lead right there.
Into Millsap. That's good. And so Teague with the assist. 20 points for Millsap.
Well, what we saw here tonight is one team just had everything going for it, and the other did. Huge margin of victory for the Spurs.
Clark, look at their number of assists.
Well, they minimized the one-on-one situations, Kevin. They got the ball moving, and it found the open guy.
Great ball movement, you're right. And every win important. And this one will go down as win number 3.
Well, one thing about this win, it assures that they will not lose the season series. They only meet once more, of course, as interconference opponents.
And, Steve, when it is just a 2-game season series, the team winning game 1 has a bit of an edge going into the second meeting, knowing they've already solved their opponent one time and only have to do it once more.
Beyond the actual result of this game, I think fans are going to look back and see this was just a monstrous performance for Parker. Now, there wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every opportunity he got.
Here's Mack. Here's Payne. Rebound San Antonio. There's 42 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Bazemore grabs the miss. Fast break here. Here come the Hawks. And it's Payne with the finish. The rim rattler.
Just a remarkable jam. These fans' jaws are on the ground right now.
Yeah, that is Showtime stuff right there. Major highlight reel material.
And that one's good. Parker.
They got to feel pretty good about this win tonight, guys, defending their home floor.
Yeah, and just riding it out here now. I mean, they gave the fans what they wanted.
There's the bucket. Good.
This run probably just a case of too little too late.
But at least they're still going after it and playing hard. It would have been very easy to throw in the towel a while ago.
And again, it's the Spurs from deep.
And they're not finished yet. They're going to make sure about this win.
Yeah, that's how you close out a game, Steve.
And Mack kicks to Cephalosha. Here's Scott. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. Not much to be critical of with this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play. They showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark, Stephen Doris, and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Last but not least, here is your Jordan Player of the Game, Tony Parker.